Hi everybody, I just want to take a few minutes to give you a quick Toon tutorial. This is a very intuitive tool. First thing you need to do is you need to register right here. You only need a username and a password. You can have it emailed to you if you would like. So I'm just going to log in. It doesn't ever like me from that page for some reason. So I am going to... And you do need an email address. I apologize about that. You do need to have an email address, but you guys all will have one. Okay. Oh. Of course, signing in is the thing that takes the longest. Isn't that funny? So that is probably the thing that does take the longest with this tool, believe it or not. So, all right. So here we are at Toon, hopefully, and I'm gonna jump over to home. All right, so you can make Toon offers quite a few tools. You can make a book. You can actually create your own characters. If you don't like the ones that are there, you can actually upload your own images from your computer, or you can draw your own images. But regardless if you're going to make a comic or you're going to make a Toon book, you've got to start with the Toon Maker. So we're going to start there. So a new window will pop up for you. The first thing you need to decide is if you are going to make a comic strip, then you can pick from 1 to 3 slides. Or I suggest that if you know you're going to wind up making it a book, you want to go ahead and pick the 2 slides. So how this works is basically these drop-down menus up here give you basic categories to look for. So if you wanted female characters, you would go there. So here I'm going to go, I want to go into space. And this is a simple drag and drop tool. I'm literally just dragging and dropping. What I'm going to do is if I want to change my scene, I just drag it right over, okay? Because you can only have one background at a time. So now I'm ready to pick my characters. So I'm going to go in here and maybe get some alien characters. Let's see, I like this guy, maybe not so alien, but fun anyway. Now, what's fun is some tools down here. You can actually mess with these characters. So you can actually change his posture. You can actually flip him around. So I'm going to flip him around. And let's see, what else can he do? I'm going to have him do that. And then let's get him a companion in here. So I'm going to go back to my characters. And let's see if there's anybody here that I like. Let's bring her in. See what she's got to offer. Push her down there. Let's see what kind of posture she gives. So she doesn't change posture. She actually changes color. So that's kind of cool. You could actually make her smaller if you wanted, like that. So let's have them have a conversation. And again, you can choose from different props. I mean, all of these you can explore on your own, just sort of giving you the basics. And they all work exactly the same. So I'm going to pick this guy. I'm particularly fond of this tool here. So you can, again, make this a little smaller, and you can actually move the bubble around. You know, so you can absolutely move everything in here. So I'm going to be like, what's up? Okay. So now, let's say that I know that I'm going to have the same scene. I could actually recreate the scene by going through and pulling down my menu, or I could just use this clone button, which is right here. You just push that button, it's going to really just recreate. What I'll do now is grab this text box and swing it over to her, and now just change that text in there. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you make another strip. All right, so you guys get the idea. You could make more sets of 2. So let's say that you wanted to have a 4 or 5, or excuse me, like a 6 or 8 page book. You would just keep creating these, and it would be like page 1, page 2, page 3. And here's why. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to save this guy, where we're going to go ahead and give it title. Just click right in there. I'm going to call it Super Magic. It's very creative. And I'm going to say go ahead and save it. And we're just going to say tutorial. You can give it tags if you want. And I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And you're just going to say okay. Now I'm going to go back to the main Toon page, which is back here. And now I'm going to create a Toon bookmaker. I'm going to go ahead and do a book now. And I'll show you why I made the strip first. Because what it does is it basically, how you make a book is you actually drag in comic strips that you've already created. So that's why I could say you would, if you wanted to continue the story, you'd have to make another set of two, and then all you got to do is just grab that guy and put it right in there, and now you have a Toon Dune book. So let's publish that. Oh. So we'll give it a name, Super Magic. And we can put a description in there, but we're not going to do that. And we want to view it now, just so you can see what the difference between the books and the comic strips are. Hopefully it will let me do that. There we go. And so I do have a little avatar that I have here, and then I really just love books because they just really are like books. So that was a very quick tutorial on how to use Toon Dune. Again, it's a very intuitive tool. Mash on all the buttons, drag everything down. You cannot break this tool. Have fun. Alright guys, now that you've made your Toon Dune comic strip, and you've made your you've chosen 3 out of the figurative languages, and you've made those, I want you to go ahead and copy the URL for each one. You should have a separate URL that's working for each one, so you want to make sure it's public. And then you're going to jump over to our figurative language page. You've come to me and I've assigned you a group number, so you want to go ahead and click your group number that's with you guys, and of course you're going to edit the page. It would be useful if you went ahead and put your guys' names here just to remind me of who is in whose group. So I'm going to say Lisa and Sue. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and paste that URL, and it will go ahead and be hot. And then you got to remember that you do have to provide me a brief explanation of which Toon Dune, what figurative language this tune is represented, what's the message, what's being compared or exaggerated or personified as appropriate, and be sure to include your point of view or the message of the Toon Dune. What does your metaphor, personification, hyperbole, or simile actually mean? All right? All right, and when you're ready and you've got all that in there, you just go ahead and hit save. And like I said, this will go ahead and become hot, and then I should expect to see your paragraph or so, and then you would have 3 of these because you need to do at least 3 pieces of figurative language in Toon Dune, either a Toon Dune comic strip or a Toon Dune book. All right, I hope that helps. Have fun.